Yeah. Okay, hi, welcome back to Stefanie's Rock Show. We're here with Todd Phillips. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Did like some little movies called The Hangover, Old School, Road Trip. But my listeners really wanted to talk to you about GG Allin, a documentary you did quite some time ago.
Yes.
Can you tell me why you chose to do it on him and the experience?
Yeah, for documentary. I started by making documentary films, and documentaries are 70% at least your subject matter. And Gigi had always been somebody I'd been interested in. I was in that sort of scene when I was younger.
You were?
This was 18 years ago, you have to remember.
Did you have a ton of piercings?
No. I just mean like, I used to go to shows all the time. I was living in East Village in New York, and Gigi was kind of a legend. He was in jail at the time. And I wrote him in jail, wrote him a letter and said, hey, when you get out of jail, I want to do this documentary. We basically started this correspondence while he was in prison. And then I just thought, honestly, he'd make a great subject for a documentary, and it was just something
very controversial.
Something that I was interested in. But
yeah. What was the wildest thing while filming it that took place?
Oh my God. I mean, he did a lot of wild things, and if you've seen the movie, I mean, he did a lot of wild things in the movie.
Was there something you had to edit because it was just too crazy?
No, I mean, you saw the movie, and we didn't take anything out as far as being too crazy, like when that girl was urinating in his mouth at his birthday party.
That's
which
beautiful.
Was just horrible.
Yeah. To capture that on film.
To capture that, and then that was his birthday, and that's what he wanted from the girl. But no, I don't know what the wildest thing. That was pretty wild, but that wasn't even the wildest thing. And the thing with Gigi was he was so unpredictable. So much would happen that his behavior was so unpredictable. So there'd be wild things all the time, on or off camera. And the problem with Gigi was he was an alcoholic. So when he got drunk, he tended more towards violence than anything. So he would just swing at somebody or destroy something, and it was really kind of just his unpredictability. I would say was the wildest thing.
Did he die during the making or just before it was released?
He died right before it was released.
Wow.
He actually, like I said, he was in prison when I started writing him. He got out of prison, and I said, let's make the movie now. And he said, well, I can't leave Michigan. I'm on parole. I can't leave Michigan for a year. And I said, well, how about I just send you a bus ticket? And he broke parole.
Wow.
So he broke parole to come.
Where'd you get the funding? Did you have investors for that?
I'll tell you that in a second. But he broke parole to come and do the movie. So he had been wanted the whole time we were filming the movie. So then when he got beat up in Texas at the end of the movie, he got arrested. They realized he was wanted in Michigan for breaking parole. They extradited him, and he went back to jail for a year. So that was when we were editing the movie. It was when he was in jail and finding.
You just wanted a smooth and easy documentary to do. You really didn't have any problems.
So we were finding more money to finish the movie while he was in jail. He came out of jail, came to the premiere, and then he died like 5 days later or something.
And I heard he actually hugged you, or he was excited about the movie.
When he came to the premiere,
even though he's portrayed, obviously it's him, but.
Well, it's him. I think he was portrayed really well portrayed really well in the movie, but really accurately. We had a premiere in NYU, which is where I was in film school at the time, and Gigi had just gotten out of jail like 2 days earlier, and he came to the premiere, and he got really drunk in the movie theater in the back, and he was throwing bottles at the screen during the movie, and he hit a woman in the front with a bottle, and we had to stop the movie and cut her whole face open. It was terrible. My mother was there.
Oh my gosh!
So his whole face got cut open, and we ended up stopping the movie and not showing the rest of the movie because the cops came. Gigi took off, and then. But he had hugged me the next day, I think it was, after,
and did you forgive him?
Even though he never saw the whole movie.
Yeah, he just.
I mean, I'm sure he eventually did, because now that I think about it.
He's like, my drunk recollection, I think it was cool.
He died like 3 months after that. That's what happened.
Wow. And so back to how did you get the funding to bust him out, or did you just, make this yourself?
This is sort of a bad story, but basically Gigi was friends with this guy named John Wayne Gacy, who was a serial killer. Did you ever hear of him? Before your time. Yeah. John Wayne Gacy used to paint pictures in jail. So I wrote John Wayne Gacy a letter, and I said, hey.
Just hitting up everyone in prison.
Yeah, that was my
Todd
thing.
Phillips doesn't use Facebook. He just uses guys.
This was the Facebook back then.
Is that
how? The early 90s.
You found Bradley Cooper in prison, and then you're just like, can you do a movie?
So I had written John in prison and asked him if he would paint the movie poster to Hated before we ever made the movie. And then,
you wanted a serial killer to paint.
Well, because he was friends with Gigi, and because his paintings were collected by people. Like I remember reading Johnny Depp had bought one years ago for he would paint these portraits of clowns.
You're a genius.
Anyway, he painted it. He sent it to me. This all took 6 months. Sent it back to him. He signed 1,000 of them, numbered them, and we sold them for $15 a piece. Made $15,000, and that's how we made the movie. So that was exactly.
Wow.
So it was really.
And you just
fun
thought
to-
of that all on your own, like let's do this.
Yeah, I just thought like his artwork had become very cultish, popular, with people just thinking, oh, it's cool to have a painting by a serial killer. Obviously, no one could
Creepy cool.
afford, right? Creepy cool, and people couldn't just afford or get in touch with him to paint them something. So this was a poster, which I still have, which is not in this office. I'm just looking around, but is at my house.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have.
And I mean, this is huge right now. There's a YouTube sensation of members of the Murder Dolls and Slipknot, and they're actually redoing the "I Hate You, Mother" blank part that GG Allin in the movie, and they're kind of just bringing it to the light. And now Slipknot wants to open with that in their next tour.
I love that.
I mean,
I did not know that. I love that.
Yeah, their thought of him was just, oh, he's a god. He made the GG.
Well,
Allin
it's Gigi really, and Gigi was a legend, and Gigi sort of. The fact that he died before he really even people, I mean, I had gotten to see him a million times, obviously, but so he's bigger in people's minds in a weird way. It's one of those things what a legend is. It's like the stories of him precede what he really was. So I remember I went to Europe with the movie. Gigi was never able to get a passport because he had been in and out of jail.
Yeah.
So you can't get a passport if you're an ex-con. And so I went over to Europe for 6 weeks with the movie, and we toured around with the movie, showing it at all these clubs and Germany and Amsterdam and Austria, all over. And the crowds would go crazy, but we were just showing them a movie, but they had only heard stories about Gigi and never saw him. So he was weirdly almost bigger over there than he was here.
Like an icon, but that
yeah,
hasn't been seen
exactly, and it was more because it was like they just never got to see him.
Wow.
So it would have been nice if he had a chance to experience that, and like tour and all that stuff, but.
What did you learn from the GG Allin documentary that you then placed in your next documentary or film? Maybe not to do it on people in prison? Or
Well, I mean, I've always subscribed to the idea that comedy plays better by reality. No, just reality and comedy are the perfect mix. And so even in my movies nowadays, we try to make them feel as real as possible, no matter how absurd the situations are. So I think Gigi was the first thing that was really funny to me and also really real. You know what I mean?
Wow. What's going on?
Because if you really look at the movie, if you look at Hated, it really is funny, right? I mean,
I find it humorous. I think some people would be like, "Oh, that's horrible." And
well, but you're the kind of person that gets it. That movie.
I think it's cool. I wish I was around to see him. Actually, I'd be at his shows. Probably.
But how old are you?
24.
Right. So you were. Oh my God, yeah. So he died in '93.
Yeah, I was a wee lad.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be at a show. My parents would let me.
Well, I was 20 when we started making that movie, and basically.
And you're 25 now, so.
And now I'm 26. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You just had a birthday. So what are you currently working on? Do you have any new projects or?
I have a new movie coming out with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis.
He's hilarious.
Called Due Date, which comes out in November. We just finished it.
Exciting! Congratulations.
Yeah, very excited.
And Hangover 2, is that?
And we are currently writing Hangover 2.
That's awesome. Well, good luck with everything, and thank you very much for coming on Stefanie's Rock Show.
It was a pleasure. Nice to see you again.
So.
She's like the funniest crew. She's like, it's just like flashing.
That was Todd Phillips, Golden Globe winning director. If you like what you see, then check out more at www.stefaniesrockshow.com.